I read an article recently by a man named Matthew McWilliams, and he was talking about authoritarianism and democracy. And listen to this. He says, what I found is that approximately 18% of Americans are highly disposed to authoritarianism, according to their answers to 4 simple survey questions used by social scientists to estimate that disposition. A further 23% or so are just one step below them on the authoritarian scale. This roughly 40% of Americans tend to favor authority, obedience, and uniformity over freedom, independence, and diversity. I don't know about you, but I find that so scary, somewhat horrifying. What is happening? What is this ideal of democracy that so many Americans are willing to turn away from? What is it about an open society where everybody gets to think whatever they want to think and share what their opinion is, and everybody gets that nobody has a monopoly on truth, and that there are diverse opinions and diverse ethnicities and diverse religions and diverse sex and sexuality? You know, to some of us that's exciting, that really is the ideal of America that makes this whole thing so amazing. To other people, that is what's scary. Some people like the simplicity of authoritarianism. No, this is how we're doing it, and this is who we are, and anybody who doesn't agree with that, doesn't belong here? This is, it's an amazing time, because it feels to me like this is the choice we're making as Americans. To some of us, the idea that we're all different, and we're different ethnicities, different religions, sexuality, color, culture. To some of us, and I would certainly include myself in this group, the fact that it's this huge mix is what's so exciting about the possibilities. Well, to some people, that's obviously what's so scary. And that is so much of the appeal of authoritarianism, that we will say how it has to be, and if people don't like it, then they either don't belong here or they need to shut up. And we have to be very, very clear. What is the democratic vision? And what is the authoritarian vision? Because I think that is more than left versus right. That is the polarity that defines where we are now and where we're going. That which is a genuinely democratic ideal versus that which is an authoritarian ideal. My guest today is a woman who's written quite a bit about this, and she writes about it within a historical context that I find very helpful, understanding how all this happened and also how this has been happening in other countries, not only before, but even now, these authoritarian movements in places like Hungary and Poland and the Philippines and Turkey. There seems to be a bit of a authoritarian global virus. And what's happened in the United States with the Trumpism, et cetera, is part of this larger global movement. We have a lot to try to understand. We have to unpack this. We're not going to know what to do until we have much deeper understanding of what's already happening. So the book is called Twilight of Democracy, The Seductive Lure of Authoritarianism. Its author is Anne Applebaum. I read the book with great interest. I read her articles with great interest. This is a conversation so many of us need to have. There are just too many dots that we're not connecting. And I think the more we understand about what is a democracy, what is authoritarianism, how do democracies die, and how do authoritarian regimes rise up, every American needs to have a deep conversation about this. We need to understand what's going on, because we do need to decide where to go from here.